Hi, I'm Judy Kellerman, the Production and Training Coordinator here at WinCam, the local television station in Winchester. And welcome to the third edition of Meet the Members, where we introduce you to some of our local producers. Now, on my right is Tim Bradley. And Tim is a Winchester native, and he currently works at Boston Uplights in North Reading. Tim's a graduate of Curry College with a BA in Communications, and he's written and directed a number of short films. Welcome, Tim.
Thank you.
And on my left is Justin Katz. And Justin's currently a senior at Stoneham High School, but he has Winchester connections. Justin's also a filmmaker, and he already has a lot of experience in the media field. Welcome, Justin.
Thank you.
And on my far left is Marcia Brown. And Marcia has the distinction of being one of the first producers here at WinCam. And she's continued to be involved in community program production for the past 13 years. Marcia's current work focuses on personal narrative and accomplishments. Welcome, Marcia.
Thank you.
Well, first I'd like to ask everyone a bit about their backgrounds, especially their creative sides. Now, Tim, you mentioned that you have a wide background in the arts, including painting, drawing, writing, and filmmaking.
I do.
When did you first start writing films?
Oh, I've always written films, really. I always had a talent with writing. The earliest memory I can have is 8th grade, where they continually told me that my writing is excellent and that they really wanted to encourage and cultivate that side of me. My first screenplay I wrote in high school, and it was called The Politically Incorrect Super Squad. That got me an award at Winchester High School's award ceremony with Best Individual Achievement in Editing. From there, I just really liked the idea of telling stories and filmmaking.
Excellent, that's great. It's great that you had that opportunity here at
Yeah,
Winchester
I'm very
High
thankful.
School. And when you were at Curry College, you also won an award. Can you tell me a bit about that film?
Yes, the film was called Das Clearing. It was a very short film about two Nazi officers who are dragging a Jewish prisoner to a clearing to execute her. I wrote that screenplay with a friend of mine, and it was directed by two participating filmmakers who directed the project. I played one of the Nazi officers, which is not my type of personality at all. But we won Best Drama, and the award for that was a Final Cut Studio equipment.
Excellent.
So we
Very
were
good.
Yes, very happy about
That's
that.
great. Let me turn over to Marcia now. I understand that you also have a varied background in many areas of the arts, including theater, writing, painting, video and film studies, music, and dance. You tell us a little bit about your dance experiences.
Well, the dance, I sort of fell into it. At the time, I was a teaching tennis professional, and a friend dared me to take a tap dancing class. And I was like an idiot savant walking into the studio. Within 10 weeks, I was a member of the traveling dance troupe. And we toured all over New England, and I stayed with it for quite a while and held down my day job and did all my rehearsals and all my costuming, and everything sort of fit itself together. It was interesting because that was an element of the stage that I'd not really I'd not really had the experience before. And my friend who dared me was absolutely horrified when she found out that I was joining the dance troupe, and you know, she sort of disassociated herself because she couldn't quite wrap her brain around the idea of a 30-year-old woman being a tap dancer.
Well, I think
Go figure.
I think that's great, and it's kind of amazing how sometimes things just fall in our path, and you know, sometimes they amount to nothing, and yet sometimes they amount to what sounds like, you know, a great experience in a way, and as you said, gave you that experience of being on stage and performing.
There's an insight into theatrical production.
Yeah.
And later, when I put that to good use at WinCam, I knew what was going on in front of me when I was behind the camera or in the studio.
Yeah. Great benefit. Absolutely. Justin,
Yes.
even as a relatively young person, you've already immersed yourself in media as a filmmaker. When did you start writing your first films?
Well, I've been acting since I was very young, but when I first got into film, I was around 8 years old, and my friend Mary Kate and I found her dad's old camcorder. So we started writing out little scripts for ourselves, and we would just film little shorts, funny shorts that we then created a YouTube account for.
Wow.
And we did all the editing in iMovie HD.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's when I first started writing scripts.
What's kind of amazing is that that was 10 years ago now, because you're
Yes.
just coming up to 18.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing that the technology is now available to people, and was available 10 years ago to use, and not as daunting as it used to be in the terms of it was expensive, it was large, it was bulky. It's great that you had, you know, when you have these creative ideas, that you could just pretty easily sit down and take them to their final step.
I probably wouldn't have really considered film as a career path were it not for that event. At first it just started out as a hobby, but then you know, once you get your hands on slightly better technology that, you know, anyone can get their hands on, it allows you to really create quality shorts inexpensively.
Absolutely. Hopefully they're either still on YouTube, or you still have copies
I-
of those.
There are some that are
Recommend
still
keeping
in
them, so
existence.
10 years from now you can look
Archive
at them.
them,
Yeah. Let me ask everybody a little bit about their just personal backgrounds here in Winchester. Marcia, I'll start with you. How long have you lived in Winchester, and what are some of the things that you like about living here?
Well, it's slightly over 30 years, and I like the convenience of the location. I like that this is a relatively safe community to be in. The people, it's neighborly. It's a very neighborly sort of community. And I've been at various times more involved in community activities than at others because of issues with my career and travel and the sort of things that interfere with it. But I used to teach memoir writing at the Jenks Center.
Oh.
And that was where I first got the idea about having the personal narrative explored through video, because there were people who, no matter what I worked with them over, they just couldn't write. They just couldn't bring themselves to do it, or they couldn't do it, or they physically couldn't do it because, you know, they were elderly and some of them had arthritis and so forth. So we had to find a different way for them to express themselves.
Interesting.
And the camera
And the
seemed to be a
camera
nice
came in.
way.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Tim, what's been your experience of living in Winchester, as you said, all your life, and especially as a young adult?
My experience in Winchester as a young adult has actually been kind of pseudo-conflicted. There aren't that many activities, I think, in the area. My parents told me that Winchester used to have an ice skating rink, it used to have a movie theater and a bowling alley, but I think the bowling alley is now the Stop and Shop. It's a great place for suburban families who are trying to raise a family, but young adults like me and people who are making the transition might go outwards to different locations, which is fine, but it's tough for Winchester.
What were some of the local school activities, though, that you were involved in when you were younger?
In middle school, I was a part of the drama club, which really helped me get out of my shell. I was kind of an introvert for a little bit. And in high school, I mostly focused on TV and video production here at WinCam. I produced a couple of projects that way and got my writing and acting abilities up, which really helped me in Curry College.
That's great. I know here at the high school they do have a lot of different programs in the arts, and then, you know, WinCam being a section of the high school at this point, any student can come down here and participate
Wonderful.
in as many ways as they would like to, which is great for the kids here.
Yeah, I like to hear that.
Yes. So, Justin, even though you live in Stoneham now, I know that you spend some time each week in Winchester.
Yes.
What impresses you about the people that you've met here?
Well, it seems really fascinating so far. My mom's the administrator at the Jenks Center, as you
Right.
know. So I hear a lot of events going on there, and I find it's really cool, like with the book clubs and things, how they get high school and middle school students and the seniors all doing things together.
Yes.
The town seems very communal, and you know, every Saturday the farmers markets, just different aspects like that. They really make it seem like a cool place to live.
So that's nice. Through the Jenks and your association there, you've had the opportunity to see some of the events. I mean, I've been incredibly impressed too with all the different events that go on in this town that people can participate in. What media opportunities have you had specifically working at the Jenks?
In terms of media, our class that we taught on digital storytelling. Besides that, just filming different events going on over there.
Okay. Are you teaching computer classes there too?
Yes, I teach.
Yeah.
I occasionally teach what they call the Cyber Cafe,
Uh-huh.
in which I teach courses with iPads, iPhones,
Wow.
Macs, any other laptops, and phones.
And
But
how's the response been to those classes? Are people
people
coming?
seem to really love them, yeah.
That's great.
I mean, during the summer they were a bit slower, but during the year, full classes.
Things are picking up.
Yeah.
That's great. Each of our guests has produced or worked on a number of film and video projects. And as you may know, telling a story using media equipment is sometimes daunting, and it consists of many aspects, from having the original idea to the writing, the planning, casting the roles, directing, working with microphones, and then editing all the pieces together. The tools we use now have changed from the early days of film and video. And video production only dates back to the mid-1970s, which isn't that long ago, but the skills required are the same. So I'd like to ask everyone to tell us a bit about their basic training and education. Where did you start really committing yourself to learning this craft? Tim, if you could tell us a little bit about the courses that you took at Curry College, and which ones inspired you the most, would you say?
Ooh, inspired me the most.
Pick a couple.
Okay. I would have to say that the most fun class that I participated in at Curry College was the RedCam production class. Curry is going through a transition where they're trying to push the film as a major. Right now it's a concentration. The course is there are a couple of prerequisites. You have to take screenwriting and a 16mm course, which was also a lot of fun. But we got to work with the Red camera, and that camera is just gorgeous. Whatever you point it at, it's gold. Another class that inspired me was screenwriting. It's one of the only courses where the professor looked at me and said, you know, I appreciate you sharing your stories, but you don't need help. Everyone else in the class, they need help. Like, you're gold, like, you're fine.
How to structure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
how to put a story together. Interesting. Justin,
Yes.
I'm curious, again, are you self-taught, or have you literally taken some courses or classes, maybe at your high school or community center, to help you learn about different aspects of film and video at this point?
It's a lot of both. In terms of directing and acting, I've been doing Stoneham Theater, and I've been doing drama club all through middle school and high school.
Yeah.
So I learned all those aspects from there. In terms of film, I started off just with my own knowledge and going online to find instructional videos. But from there, I joined Stoneham TV, and I got all their basic training. And I did a lot of shooting for them. I did a lot of projects as technical director, as doing independent projects, directing, acting, filming. But then at Stoneham High School, I took a fairly new class, which is their film editing class. And then the following year I took advanced film editing. And this year I'm taking advanced film editing again, though I'm not really a member of the class because I'm doing an internship with Avid. And that falls under that period technically. So I learned a lot of my more advanced skills in those classes.
So your high school has had some great, things that you can be involved with in terms of helping you with. I think it's great that you're trying all the different aspects, like it seems all of you have, that ability to, explore those different parts of yourself. It again, as Marcia said, it helps you no matter what path you choose to take, whether you just become a director or just become a camera person. You appreciate what all the other work involved is.
Absolutely.
Tremendously so. Marcia, as someone who's had one of the longest records here of doing video work, how do you keep current as the technology has changed?
That's an interesting question. I am a technologist, and I spent the whole of my professional career in high tech, in software development. So when I first started out here, it was actually a little harder for me to go back to the non-digital filmmaking than other people had just coming in clean without any prior experience. So after about 5 or 6 years, when the first digital camera came in and when the first digital switch came in, I was the only person here who knew what they were about.
That's interesting.
And it was a very quick, short hop for me to transfer from being linear, non-linear to being
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you make a good point too, because as I hope people are seeing, a lot of everyone's background, if you have even some technical or arts background, it then transposes itself into the work that everybody here is doing in video. I studied piano when I was young. My dad was a photographer and an amateur painter, so I was kind of exposed to those things, and I can look back now and I can say, yeah, the fact that I tried out some of those things, when I do that as part of my video work, then I can pull, you know, those skills, that knowledge that I've had. So let's see, Tim, we're going to talk now about the clips. Everybody's brought a clip of either a past or recent project that they're working on that they would like you to see. And Tim, I understand the clip that you're going to show us is the trailer for Truth and Justice, which is your current project. Tell us just a little bit about the project and how it got started.
Oh, the project Truth and Justice got started for me about 1.5 years ago. I put together a script that was just a kind of a personal project for me, just to continue a TV series that I had been a fan of, and my co-collaborator started working with me on it, and we developed the characters and said, let's do something more, you know, to honor it. So we created our own story and we created our own characters. We kept this scenario and the situation the same. Basically, the story is about 2 characters who are supposed to personify the ideals of truth and justice working together. The ironic thing is that the character who plays Truth is deceptive and manipulative, and he creates chaos and havoc. So the story is coming along quite well, and I'm very proud of the work that my crew has put into this project.
That's great, that's great. All right, let's have a look at that clip now.
This was meant to happen.
Randall!
I had a dream about this.
Oh my god, Randall, are you okay?
Randall!
Randall!
Randall! Can you hear me?
I don't remember how it ended.
This needs to stop.
It will. It will.
Great, thanks Tim for that clip. We'll look forward to seeing the finished piece. Marcia, your clip is from one of your concert series. Tell us about your interest in covering this concert series and what we're going to see in the clip.
Well, that was the year that the Winchester Community Music School opened here in Winchester. And at the Citizen of the Year Awards, that year it was Cora, who is one of the executive directors and founders of the music school. And Cora, since I knew her, I went to her after the award ceremony and I said, would you mind awfully, I know you do these concerts with the faculty every week for the community, would it be okay if I brought a camera in and I videotaped those concerts so that we could air them for people who might not be able to get to the music school? Yeah. And from that, it evolved into an entire series in which we had the faculty recitals every week, and it was 50 minutes of music and 10 minutes of an interview with the artist. Yeah. This clip is one of the teachers, James Falzone, and he's a clarinetist, and I had to learn the score before I went to do. Wow. I was directing the show, and I had 3 cameras, and as a director I was sitting in a different room with a mobile switcher and my decks and so forth, and I had to know when the cuts were and what they were and how to prepare those camera people for that small room and that environment to get it right. And it's a piece I'm really proud of.
That's great. Well, let's have a look at Marcia's clip now. Great, thanks Marcia. We look forward to seeing more of your work in the future. And Justin, your clip is actually one of your short films in its entirety, yes. I understand. So can you tell us just a little bit about your film and your reason for making it?
Well, a lot of times, you know, when you're making a film, things end up taking a lot longer than you expect them to. So with this one, I just wanted to prove to myself that I could make a quality short in a short amount of time. So I wrote, blocked, filmed, and edited this all in under 2 hours. It's a minute-long short with no dialogue, and lately a lot of my pieces have been a little bit darker than they have been in the past. And this one, I'm trying to, in a short amount of time, deal with loss and, well, you'll see in the clip.
All right, let's look at the clip. Thank you, Justin. That was a very interesting clip, and congratulations on doing what you set out to do.
Thank you very much.
Justin, you mentioned earlier that you've done some work here with WinCam this summer. Tell us a little bit about your experience as being a teaching assistant and what kind of skills that's given you.
Well, I taught 2 classes, one with you and one with another member here at WinCam, Sean. The digital storytelling class was over at the Jenks Center, and it was a very interesting class. I really liked your, whole idea going into it on having them express their stories through a means that they've never done before. So that was an excellent class. And then teaching the children, their introduction film class here at WinCam was an excellent experience. It was tough at times controlling 9 to 13-year-old boys, but we had a great time with them, and I learned a lot about teaching.
That's
So
great. That's great.
It was an excellent experience.
Do you see yourself as possibly going into teaching in the future?
I've considered it. I really want to go into directing, but I think that teaching either as a backup or after I'm done directing independent films would definitely be an option.
And hopefully, directors really have to manage. So
Absolutely.
managing teaching, there's a correlation there. So hopefully some of the things that you gathered here as a result of these experiences you can use in the future. Great, thank you. Marcia, can you tell us just a little bit about some experiences you've had here at WinCam with other crew, other people involved in productions, with the staff?
Well, one of the real benefits of having a local access channel in your town is that you get exposed to all of the different aspects of production, from directing to the writing to the planning, the pre-production, production, post-production. You're behind the camera, you're on the graphics. I can remember doing all of those things. And what it also was good for was that you discovered that you could improvise. And this is a thing that, working with a little bit low pressure with the local access channels, it's not like you're walking into broadcast television. And I gotta say, it's a real kick to know at the end of a production that what you've done is going to be aired in your community, that people will see it, people who don't know you, who don't know anything about you, but they know your point of view because of what you've put up on that television screen.
That's great. That's a great point. Thank you. Thank you. Tim, what advice would you give a young person, say someone in middle school right now who might be watching this and who's done what Justin's done and what you did when you were younger? The tools are out there now for people to use. What advice would you give them to help them really stay focused and stay interested in this medium?
If the person or group of people are committed to doing that, the greatest advice I can give is to practice telling the story. If they have a story in mind, hammer it down, develop a pitch. The best thing to do is to get the story out there any way that they can. Get people interested, get people involved. Nothing has saved my skin more than being able to explain a project to someone who is unclear or uncertain about it. And being able to do that has gotten me out of a couple of binds, but has also gotten a couple of friends of mine who are working on a project the funding that they needed.
Interesting. That's a really good point. I don't think, again, when you're younger, you realize there's a whole world of people out there that you do have to deal with, and especially if you want to make a living doing this sort of thing, money definitely becomes part of the equation. So
It certainly does.
thank you all very, very much for being part of this conversation. I know we could go on and on about the different experiences that you've had, and we hope that those of you viewing this have a little bit more insight into what we do here at WinCam and what we offer everyone in the community. So thanks for watching. Good night.